Good morning, students. Today's geography topic is very important, so concentrate yourself. We are going to read conventional, that is also called traditional methods of irrigation. And in this topic, first category is lift irrigation method. In all these methods, surface water is lifted manually to irrigate the nearby agricultural fields. These include shadoof, charsa, and Persian wheel. So now we are going to read one by one these three categories, that is shadoof, charsa, and Persian wheel. And the first one is shadoof. Consists of a bucket attached to a pole on one side and a weight on the other side. Like this. Weight on the other side and bucket on the other side of a rod. Water is drawn by dipping the bucket into the river, canal, or a well. Only a small area is irrigated in a lot of time. And now we are going to show you a video so you can understand more better. So like this, shadoof system works. Okay, next category is charsa, an improvement upon shadoof. The weight in the shadoof method is replaced by animal power. Both shadoof and charsa are very rarely used even by subsistence farmers nowadays. And this is a diagrammatically representation of this system, that is charsa. One side is animal power and on the other side a bucket is attached that brings water from the well, canal or river out of into the agricultural field. And we are going to show you a video to understand this type more clearly. So this bucket is bringing water out of the canal, river or well, and on the other side animal power is attached. The next category is Persian wheel, an improvement upon shadoof and charsa. Consists of a horizontal wheel attached loosely to a vertical wheel. An animal, donkey or bullock moves the horizontal wheel that in turn moves the vertical wheel. A number of the buckets are attached to the vertical wheel and they are dipped into a traditional well to get filled with water. As the buckets are brought upward, they are emptied into a long narrow duct or canal that carry water to the nearby agricultural field. More efficient than the shadoof and charsa methods and therefore still used by many subsistent farmers, especially in the Barani areas like the Potwar Plateau. Irrigates a relatively greater area of the land in a lesser time. Advantages of the Persian wheel is, it is a cheap method of the irrigation. Few workers are required. Animal power is used. Enough availability of water on time. But the disadvantages are, Persian wheel can be used for small scale only. And here is a diagrammatically representation of the Persian wheel. And now we are going to show you a video of this to understand more clearly. So here is animal power. Here is a vertical wheel that is bringing water into many buckets out of the canal, and that is actually given to the nearby agricultural field. Here is the horizontal wheel. Animal power is moving the horizontal wheel, and vertical wheel is bringing water out of the well. Okay, next category is other conventional methods of the irrigation. And out of this, number one method is called inundation, that is also called flood canals. These are large in size, taken off from large rivers, receive water only during rainy season and floods, as we can understand from the name. Not very reliable source of the irrigation because it is depending on the flood and rainy season. A narrow and smaller canal is called a diversion channel. Diversion channels are common in the northern mountains where they are made to flow down the mountain slopes to irrigate terrace forms. Moisture is used in this way for farming. This is subsistence, traditional way of living. This is an unreliable source which depends only on rainfalls. And this is a diagram of flood canals. Next type is tank irrigation. Small mud tanks are constructed across small streams to make a small reservoir. Excess water during rainy season is stored in these mud-built tanks. Here is a figure. Not very reliable source of the irrigation. Next type is carres. Restricted to Balochistan's selected areas. Makes use of the raised water table in the foothills. A horizontal subterranean underground canal is dug in the foothills. The canal runs from a few to several kilometers before it opens on the surface to supply water to the agricultural fields. In order to maintain and desilt regularly, vertical shafts are installed at intervals. As it remains underground, loss through evaporation is minimum. A single farmer cannot afford it, so a group of the farmers jointly build it. Repair and maintenance is difficult and costly. As a result of the recent drought-like situation, several carres in Balochistan have turned incompetent. Once built, labor of the work is not required. Water does not evaporate in this method. This is the only available source for miles in dry areas. And here is a diagrammatically representation of the carres. And we are going to show you a video to understand it in a clear way. This is mother well from where water is coming, and these are shafts to desilt the canal on regular basis. And here water is coming from the mother canal to a long area. So look here, and from here water is coming on the surface, and water is provided to different agricultural lands. Okay, next are modern methods of the irrigation. These include perennial canals, tube wells, tankers, sprinklers or spray irrigation, and last one is trickle or drip irrigation. The first type we are going to read is the perennial canals. Taken out from water reservoirs, dams and barrages to supply water to Rabi, that is winter, and Kharif, that is summer crops. Supply water throughout the year. An extensive and complex network of the canals exists in Punjab and Sindh. Designed along modern lines by the British and later improved under the 1960 Indus Water Treaty. Much more efficient mode of irrigation as compared to all the traditional methods and many modern methods of the irrigation, including tube wells. Irrigate a very large area in a little time without involving much labor. Also help diverting flood during rainy seasons. If unlined, they eventually cause waterlogging and salinity. And here is a diagram of perennial canals. Next topic is factors that helped in developing the perennial canal system. Natural southward slope of the rivers. Soft soil and flat land of the Indus Plain made digging easier. Availability of the cheap labor and cement and so reduced cost of the construction. Sufficient amount of the water from the monsoon and glacial melting. Construction of the reservoirs, dams and barrages as a result of the Indus Water Treaty. Signed in 1960. This necessitated and facilitated the construction of the perennial canals. Next type which we are going to read is tube wells. Consist of a narrow, long tube casing installed deeper into the ground. Depth of the tube well varies from 90 meter to 120 meter. It works with the help of the diesel or electrically operated motor that sucks groundwater from the depth. The sucked up water is released under pressure to the agricultural field. Very efficient among the modern methods of the irrigation, but less efficient than the perennial canals. No risk of the waterlogging and salinity. Tube wells are rather used to treat some problems. Very popular in Barani areas of Potwar and Balochistan. Tube wells are used on commercial levels. Disadvantages of the tube wells. It is a costly mode of irrigation because it works with diesel and energy. Machinery and electricity is required. High maintenance cost is required for this method. And this is a diagram of the tube well. And now we are going to show you a video to understand this method more clearly. So this is working on diesel. Here is a tube well. Here is a tube that is digged into the meters under the ground and water is pumped out from the ground to the surface. So here water is coming. And it is given to the agricultural land. Okay, next method is Tanker irrigation. Automobile tankers collect water from water channels like canals, ponds, etc. and supply it to the farms and household in emergencies only. Not an efficient mean of the irrigation, as only a small amount of water can be supplied. And this is the expensive method. And here is a picture of the tanker. And definitely you ever have seen this kind of the method on the roads. And now we are going to show you a video to understand it more clearly. Definitely you have seen this. The next method is sprinkles or spray irrigation. Small rotatory sprinkles are installed across the public water supply pipes. Centrally placed in the house lawns, orchard, or small farms. Not used expensively for large-scale farming because of the high initial cost. An effective method of the saving water that ensures minimum water loss. And here is a picture of the sprinkles. Definitely you have seen it somewhere in your country. And now we are going to show you a video to understand this more clearly. These are the sprinkles. Loss of the water is minimum because targeted area is hit through this method. Okay, next method is drip or trickle irrigation. One of the most modern method of the irrigation being popularized gradually in Pakistan. Consists of a network of the tubings that have multiple holes through which water is released under pressure. The whole network is connected to centralized water source. Water released in this way is highly precision oriented as it is sprayed on the selected parts of the crops only. Initial installation cost is high, but in the long run, it may become somewhat economical as it maximally prevents unnecessary loss of the water. In view of the imminent danger of the serious shortage of water, drip irrigation method seems to be a very useful device of irrigation of modern times.